Hi, I'm Corey Johnson for Towleroad.com. It is Sunday, 2 days before the big inauguration, and we are in the Canon office building right across from the Capitol. We're standing outside Jared Polis' office, who is the first openly gay man elected to Congress. He is on the top floor of the Canon office building. It's very exciting. He was sworn in about a week and a half ago, I believe, and we're going to talk to him inside his office here today. The Capitol is buzzing with people. The mall's crowded. Everything's shut down. Jared is actually here giving out tickets to his constituents. They had a lottery for folks that could attend the inauguration. And here he is. Jared Polis is here, and we're going to go into his office and talk to him.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
go.
do it.
Let's go. Okay, great.
In.
Come on in. Hi, I'm Corey Johnson for Towleroad.com, and just 3-4 months ago, we were in actually the state of Colorado, in Denver, at the Democratic Convention, and we interviewed then not Congressman, but Democratic nominee Jared Polis, who had just won an incredible primary victory in the state. He is the first openly gay man elected in the United States, and we are in the Canon office building, 501 Canon, sitting here with Jared. Jared, how does it feel to actually finally be here?
You know, it's great. We've been at work about 11 days already, and we've passed health care for kids, S-chip, and some protection for pay equity at work. I mean, this is just so exciting to be part of it. I just couldn't be more excited here on the eve of Obama's inauguration.
With the inauguration coming up and the president talking about all the work that needs to get done, I saw that you have been appointed to some very good committees. You were appointed to the Education and Workforce Committee, and you were appointed to the Rules Committee. Can you talk about that and what that actually means and what kind of work you'll be doing in those committees?
Sure. The education one is a lot easier to describe. As you know, Corey, a lot of my past work has been in education. I was superintendent of several schools that serve at-risk youth. I was on the State Board of Education for 6 years, and really the whole reason I ran for office and I'm in this business is to provide opportunity for our next generation, and I hope to be able to do that by working on workforce development programs, early childhood education, and improving our public schools. Rules Committee is interesting. You know, I originally thought I'd be on some committees dealing with other legislative areas like perhaps natural resources or science and technology, but the Rules Committee is usually a very senior committee, and when the leadership approached me about serving on it, I really jumped at the opportunity. What it means is we have the ability to impact legislation by deciding what amendments are allowed and what amendments aren't allowed. There's usually more senior members on it, and it was really, I was honored to have that vote of confidence by leadership to serve on that committee, and it's a great place for me to be for the development of my own career here in Congress to really learn about the process up close.
And both of those committees actually relate in some way to the raging debate the LGBT community had in the past couple years surrounding ENDA. During your campaign in the primary and in the general election, you talked about how you expected the Employment Non-Discrimination Act to be a fully inclusive act that had gender identity and protection in it. The bill will originate from the Education Committee and Workforce Committee that you're on, and then amendments that people could try to use to undermine the bill could potentially go through the Rules Committee. So it is actually very specific to the two committees that you're serving on.
You're right. It's the Education Committee is actually the Education and Labor Committee. So all the workplace protection, including ENDA, gender discrimination, et cetera, all go through that committee. And you're right. On the Rules Committee, it's what amendments are allowed and which ones are not allowed. So that's something that, of course, President-elect Obama has promised to sign, and it's hopefully something that we can deliver to him here in the next this session.
A lot of gay and lesbian Americans, of course, are scared about the jobs, and they're excited about healthcare reform being done. People are still focusing on what needs to be done in Iraq and Afghanistan. And there has been murmurings and talks of course, needing to focus on these big national issues first. But do you think that it's going to push some of the bills that are specifically related to the gay community, like an inclusive hate crimes bill, like an inclusive ENDA, immigration reform bill that will include access for bipartisan partners, binational partners, bipartisan too, from entering the country? Is it going to put that down on the totem pole a bit with all these other big issues we have to handle?
Well, you know, like everyone in our country, gay and lesbian Americans care a lot about the economy. And when you lose your job, it doesn't matter whether you're gay or straight. So certainly getting our economy going is critical. But no, we shouldn't have to take a back burner for a broader equality agenda. But you know, again, we as gays and lesbians have an important interest in ending the war and getting our economy going and creating a new energy economy, creating more jobs because it's affecting our communities just like it is the rest of the country. So that's critical, but of course, no, that shouldn't stand in the way of a full equality agenda, and I'm very excited with the opportunity to move that through with a favorable president.
With your election, the recently put together LGBT caucus in the U.S. House had a 50% increase in actual LGBT members. Barney and Tammy were the co-chairs of it. Now you are in the Congress, and many straight allies have signed up to be part of it as well. Do you think that, you know, a caucus like that can be something by just more than name only, that you can actually get folks from across the country, people from the Blue Dog Caucus or other places, to sign and understand more about these issues that face our community?
I sure hope so. Representative Baldwin called me after the election and asked me to co-chair the caucus, and I agreed to do that. And I think we do have an opportunity with our allies to raise the profile of these issues. And, you know, many Americans, and here in Congress, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, they have gay and lesbian friends and neighbors, sometimes gay and lesbian family members, and it's just a matter of making sure that they don't that they incorporate that into their political beliefs, and that they show that they care about their gay and lesbian friends by passing laws that give equal access and equal opportunity to them.
In about 2 hours from now, it's Sunday afternoon, Bishop Gene Robinson is giving the invocation at the first official inaugural event down at the Lincoln Memorial, which is a pretty amazing thing. A few weeks ago, of course, there was a large uproar over Rick Warren being asked to give the invocation for the president's inaugural speech on Tuesday. What do you take away from this sort of whole controversy? Does it sort of lessen some of your hopes with the new administration, or how would you characterize the Warren flap and now the inclusiveness of Gene Robinson?
You know, I really don't pay that much attention to the personal politics of ministers and religious figures. I mean, certainly, like any citizen, they're entitled to believe whatever they believe, and like any of the rest of us, they're all over the place on a variety of issues. So, you know, again, I think that they represent a broad spectrum of beliefs, even within the same denominations, and they're certainly entitled to their beliefs. And
lastly, Senator Obama has put together a pretty stellar administration by sort of most everyone's account. There have been a few slip-ups with Bill Richardson, but one of the interesting things is he's picked some very capable people like Hillary Clinton for Secretary of State, and he's picked the senior senator from your state, Ken Salazar, to serve as Secretary of the Interior, which created an opening, and now we have a new senator who – has he been sworn in yet?
No, he's not. I think he'll be sworn in shortly because Ken Salazar hasn't been fully confirmed yet.
So his name's Michael Bennett. He was a superintendent of the Denver public school system, and you work so much in education. Do you think that Senator Bennett looks like he'll be a friend of the gay community when we need him?
Absolutely. You know, I've known Michael for a number of years. Some of his top deputies are openly gay. He's a terrific friend of our community, and I'm confident he'll vote the right way on issues in the Senate, and I certainly look forward to helping him win re-election to a full term in Colorado.
This is your first time being inauguration as a member of Congress, but have you been at other inaugurations in D.C. in the past?
I have. I actually went to Bill Clinton's 1992 inauguration, so I didn't get like to watch it like I did this one. I was one of way in back, but I did get to watch the inaugural parade. So I remember seeing the parade come through when I was in town for it. And it was very exciting. I mean, there was a lot of excitement with a new young president full of great ideas coming to Washington, and we had 8 prosperous and relatively peaceful years under the Clinton administration. And now, of course, after 8 years of Republican administration, we're here in a lot of trouble, and we're hoping that Barack Obama can turn that around. And there's a lot of hope here in the country, and of course, millions of people descending on Washington to be a part of it.
Well, we know you're going to be an ally of his and a partner with the administration on getting work done that this country so desperately needs. So thank you so much for talking to us, and a really big congratulations on all this. It's amazing.
Thanks, Corey, and go Towleroad.
I'm Corey Johnson with Congressman Jared Polis from the 2nd Congressional District from the state of Colorado. A Cannon office building, 501. Come by and say hi anytime. He's always here. He's sleeping on this couch, actually.
Got my pillow over there.
The pillow's over there. Corey Johnson, Towleroad.com.